the talk show Talk with Vihu on Go with VIHANGA YouTube channel. Now we are at Asylum student premises. Today our special episode is mostly all about food, cooking, chef diaries and culinary industry. This is the remarkable icon in culinary industry, none other than celebrity chef Kolu Ranawake. I'm Kolu.
Hi Boan, how are you?
Welcome to the Talk with Vihu, and first of all we thank you on behalf of allocating the time for us.
I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Right, so first talk all the stuff. Let's talk about yourself, but in your words.
Me, I'm just a normal human being. I'm 60 years old now and I had a wonderful time. Lots of great experiences and living like everybody else.
Yeah, we are here to share all the experiences on you. So first let's talk about your childhood.
My childhood was a very happy one. Always I had a happy home. I have a sister, parents. Life was great, went to college. Then after I went on to hotel school, was there. And then from there onwards, it has always been cooking.
Yes, and obviously your mother should be a great cook, and she might have inspired you. So there might be have some golden memories with your mother. So shall we flashback about your memory with mother?
Well, going back that time,
Yeah.
we must remember that cooking has been in going back 40, 50 years ago. There were no restaurants, no hotels, none of those things here. So the home was the heart of the cooking hub, you know. So it was always fantastic because I cooked so much there. I enjoyed, I learned from there. It's just by watching, and we had all kinds of things and going on in the kitchen. And my father was a journalist, so there was all the time cooking was going on because everybody was foreign journalists, so all the people were there, foreign journalists there. So it was a cooking hub. But I first started learning by doing desserts, and I first started making cakes, which I don't even do now. So it's from there onwards, it was a great experience from there onwards.
Okay, Kolo. So I've heard when I'm searching about you, so I heard that Thailand and Bangkok is one of your rated and a turning point.
But actually, I love Thailand and Bangkok in the sense I like the cuisine there. Because the food is fantastic there. And it's one of my favorite cuisines in the world. But my whole life was after I went to Iraq. I was in Baghdad, and from Baghdad when the war started, the first one, which was the Desert Storm, which I had to go from there to Portugal. And then I lived there in Portugal for almost 10 years. So that was my great turning point there.
Kolo, now everyone knows that Kolu Ranawake is a master chef in Sri Lanka, locally and internationally recognized one. But I need to know where is the initial point? Where is the initial point that you think that I should have to be a chef?
It was always a hobby turned into a profession. So in my entire life, I never felt I was working. But I'm not a good businessman, so I've always expected other people to handle the business for me. But you know, at times it's very difficult because some people I have got on very well with and I had great experiences with. I now do mainly consulting. Of course, you know, it's like all over the world, in Sri Lanka especially. A lot of times, a lot of people get very funny when it comes to money.
Yes.
Payment
Yes.
is always a problem here.
You have such a cool personality. Kolo, I have some few questions about you are a celebrity chef, right? So we can introduce like that. So who is your celebrity crush? Who is your celebrity crush in Sri Lanka?
I have no crushes on anyone. I just admire people for what they do. Otherwise, I don't have any idols and crushes on anyone.
Oh my. What do you feel about the local Sri Lankan culinary industry and the internationally, if we do a comparison?
I love Sri Lankan food. Sri Lankan food is fantastic, not exposed enough. Now we find that from 40 years ago to now, actually people are now serving a lot of Sri Lankan food because finally we as Sri Lankans like our own local food. There are times where we all got this pseudo-European attitude and try to pretend that we want only European food, which is all nonsense. Because at the end of the day, we have people who love hoppers, people cold roti, fried rice, whatever, and all the fantastic
Basically our traditional foods.
Our traditional foods. And also, we have extremely a lot of vegetables in this country. So a vegetarian can be comfortable anytime here because there are no issues being vegetarian and if you like curry. So, and of course you must remember that there are various ways of making curry. Because curry doesn't mean one similar way, there are different ways and methods of making curry. I think our local cuisine is fantastic and I'm very happy that now Sri Lankans are concentrating on promoting Sri Lankan food to Portugal.
Our nation.
Our nation.
Then Kolu, when you are going through moving as a chef, so there might be some obstacles you have faced in your life. I mean, some barriers and boundary lines. So what are they?
There are actually no obstacles in this thing because if you're sure of what you're doing, you don't find any obstacles. Obstacles come, as I told you, in the business side because I'm a creative person. I can work, cooking is concerned and giving ideas. And all I have done and given, and yet I can train. My favorite thing now is to train people who are talented and who want to be cooks or chefs or whatever they call it now. So the problem is you have to love this cooking to enjoy cooking. So that's a huge thing, that we have to train. That is coming just for a job for taking money and can't work. Obstacles I haven't faced any like that.
Something like hard times?
Hard times I've had because I've done other things, nothing to do with my cooking.
Yeah.
Right?
No, this talk show is all about your career life and personal life, all the stuff. So
my personal life is a riot. I'm now from age, I think 18, I have gone on till about a few years back. My life has been a riot. I have been openly gay person in Sri Lanka. I have done all this cooking throughout. I have done these drag shows. I have done loads of things which I enjoy doing. And I have to tell you, I had never had any obstacles with any of these things. So it's a great thing.
That sounds good. So in your life, either in professional or either in personal life, there are some bold memories our audience loved to hear.
One of my greatest memories is that when I was in Baghdad, in the desert storm, the first war there, when the Americans invaded there,
when you were the master servant?
No, I was there. I was the butler cum chef for the Portuguese ambassador. And then we had to get out of Baghdad, which was extremely fantastic experience for me because we were overland. We had to go, the consul and I had to go. From there we had to go to the hill country, the north, and to Mosul. And from Mosul we had to stay, and this bombing was going on all over. And then from there we crossed borders into Turkey, and we drove. It's an amazing 2-day drive into Ankara. And it was a great experience. That has been one of my great experiences there.
And those days all happened all alone, or you have some partners?
No, I was the consul of the embassy.
Oh.
So it was great fun going there. Then of course since the first one in such a long time, there were problems with the flights, and then from Ankara we had to go into Istanbul also. So I had a good time. I was going around looking at the country. But so whereas 4 or 5 days in Ankara, 4 or 5 days in Istanbul, I have managed to see all of that. The first time I had been into those countries. So it was fantastic that I had the opportunity and see all of that with this adventure and the experience. And then finally I got to Paris. From Paris I got into Portugal. And there in Portugal I was there for almost 10 years.
That for sure, you might have other stories.
Oh, I have enough and more stories. That was the wildest
Shall we
time.
flashback of another one?
Well, being in Portugal, I must say I had a fantastic 3 years of, I used to travel a lot out from there, come back to Sri Lanka, go all over the world, because I got a European residency, so that which gives you a gateway to all over. So I used to fly all over there, and then one of my experiences, for 2 years I worked for a millionaires, an American millionaires, as a personal chef. That was great fun, because she was a lovely, lovely lady. And we had a great time because she was married 4 times, she was widowed the 4th time, so it was like an experience, been there as more companion than a chef at the end. But we had great times together, great experiences and a lot of fun. And of course you must remember in Europe, have been in Europe is fantastic when you're gay because there's so many gay bars. Gay life is so open and fantastic there. You have no issues like, it's a great life there.
Alright.
So of course I did learn a lot of cooking there also. The first time in my life I had been to European side. So from there I used to go to Holland and to Spain and all over and we used to learn cooking, so all involving culinary things.
Around how many countries that you have visited so far?
I have visited loads from Australia to Europe to America, so I have visited all over. Lots of places I have gone on cooking. Going to my cooking, I have traveled almost the entire world, so it's fantastic.
Like getting all the experience from international platforms. So, what you have introduced to Sri Lanka, as a brand from Kolu?
As a brand from Kolu, of course, it's my curry mixers which I have done Sri Lanka cooking.
Today also I have seen some.
They have a new package.
Yes.
Yeah. So it has been we have introduced lots of food which I have learned. Actually, all my culinary expertise is on my travels and what I have gone and what I have learned. And I have my knowledge. I have done everything from there and done my version of it. With the Sri Lanka.
Customizing.
No, it's my version of it.
Oh,
Because
right.
we can't get all the ingredients, so we have to think of some things which we had to add or subtract or replace or something to get the end result of which I want. So that has been an experience. And there have been great times during the Bandanayaka regime, late back, I don't know whether you were born, even when there were restrictions here, we learned to cook, which was fantastic, with whatever we had here. So we had no issues on, we have to have this, we have to have that, we had to do with what we had around us. So the experiences have been fantastic.
Yes, sounds good, and also so interesting about your stories and the memories. And Kolu, you are a master chef, right? So you are a genius in cooking. So according to you, what is the best food menu for you?
Food menu or food cuisine?
Yeah.
Cuisine, I love European food, and I also like Asian food. So I have no favorite like that, but I love those, and I love steak. And that you go to America, nobody else will serve good steak like in America or in probably Australia, maybe South America. So those are what I like. I don't have favorites. I like food, as you can see from my size.
Okay, like in our Go with VIHANGA YouTube channel, our talk show, Talk with Vihu, we are talking about the youth in Sri Lanka or all over the world.
Yeah.
So what is the aspect about the young generation in Sri Lanka, or comparing with the international other countries? Like you have been work with certain type of people.
Yeah, no, I have no issues with working with. I can see when I work wherever I work, even here, I can see when I go into a kitchen, I know who the workers are, who are the non-workers.
Yes.
So that way you will wean the non-workers out. So it's never been a difficult thing here. But we think of Colombo as Colombo, and the out of Colombo is a different thing, but the talent there, we have a lot of talented people from all over Sri Lanka who have that Atgune, as they say.
Yeah.
To Vihan Atgune, so they have that amazing ability to cook.
Apart from the chef diaries, overall, do you happy about the young generation in Sri Lanka? Do you have a positive or a negative image?
I know very few young people. I mean, friends of mine's children. I know they are okay. I think a lot of them are a little spoiled, a little and I don't know. I really don't know. I suppose they will get on in their life. Our childhood was different compared to them. They are into this social media, into cyber things and all kinds of things. So there's a good the cyber world. So we were not grown up in a cyber world. We had to find our own fun. So maybe there's a huge generation gap like that. So perhaps I suppose they'll have to. I have no children or anything, so I don't know. I don't know around with too many young people. But I like to be around some young people because it's always a happy environment, other than the fact that they're always on the phone.
Like what do you do in your leisure time, like except cooking? What are you interested?
At this moment, if I never had to cook again, I'm fine. I've done cooking for 43 years. I'm just done with it, you know. But I like training, and I like cooking for friends who visit my house.
For your beloved ones.
Yeah, and I have, of course, I have a very loyal patronage who have always followed me and will always support me, so it's fine. But I'm a huge movie buff. I love watching TV series, movies. That's my whole life. I just sit and watch any. I love French series, Nordic series, anything. I just keep on watching crime, law series. I love.
Overall, enjoyable and comfortable lifestyle.
Well, I try to make it. There's no point being miserable.
Of course. And what are your future goals?
I have no future goals. My future goals is never to cook again.
And why? And why?
For 43 years, you do that, you get fed up of it. There's no point trying to say, I mean, I like cooking, but I'm not that mad about it anymore. So, no point telling that I love to cook and cook. No. I like to do my curry spice mix. That's a lot of fun.
So it's like continuation of a business.
Yeah, I know. I like to watch other people's businesses and help them with their businesses, but I never run a business of mine.
With your experience and the knowledge, what are you supposed to do more to the Sri Lanka? If you think
there's a lot happening. There are a lot of young people who have all kinds of ideas where the culinary world is concerned, but my thing is I think the people who know. Because my point is, if you're going about cooking, you have to be a chef. If you have to be a designer, as a dress designer, you must know how to tailor and to cut a dress. You know, if you are running a salon, you have to be a hairdresser. So my point is that all the people who don't know this, just because they have money, get into these fields. That is the biggest problem I can see. People who don't know about food and how it's done are trying to run things. People who don't know anything about hairdressing or salon work or how to cut or style hair are running salons. People, that's what's happening, you know. So, you know, every interior decorator, everybody who doesn't know the subject, has no professional knowledge, is doing things.
incorrect choices.
Incorrect. It's incorrect. It's a non-professionalism in this country now. So that's a big problem.
It's time to flashback and for the throwback for your drag shows, and I think your audience will love to hear those things, and the people who have already watched those stuffs, they will be amazed with talking with the person who wrote that.
Yeah, that was a great time. It was a great experience. I've always liked acting from school days, and then latterly we did plays and all that, and then latterly we got on to do drag shows after I came back, which actually we did with the LGBTQ community, with Equal Grounds. We first started something, and then from there we stepped on to doing other things. Then one of my friends ran and said, why don't we do our own show? So I decided, okay, if we can do it for charity, let's do a fantastic, huge show at a 5-star.
As charity?
As a charity. But of course, there's huge expense because the costumes, lodging with the costumes, Stefani costumes. It's a huge costume show, and also the costs are very high, but we are very lucky that people happily came in as sponsors. And we were actually the Chittali School, the Sunera Foundation, and education. We did so much, collected as much money, and they got involved with us. It was a very transparent show, but the shows are fantastic. And every year people used to look forward to it, and whatever the price was, within a week we used to sell all the tickets out. But it was great fun. The rehearsals, the ideas, the concepts, the costumes, it was all very much of fun. But actually in 2014 I decided I'd be on a peak of this show.
All the shows that held in Sri Lanka
All here. That people, the people, lots of the foreigners here couldn't believe that actually we could be able to stage a show like that, huge public place like a 5-star hotel, and have a full house at an expensive rate. You know, so people, it was a show where everyone looked forward to coming. So it was fantastic fun doing it. But in 2014 I decided, you know, when you're right at the top of the show, you must give it up, not when you're sinking down and being desperate to sell tickets. So 2014 I hung my high heel shops and stopped the drag shows.
And we have seen so much of various kind of like cross dressings of Kolu. So what are those and what are the experience and
It was just since we always think of characters and thing. And in the Dharmasena, I did a lot of productions.
yeah.
And I always used to take the lead female role or some female role and play the devil. So that's just making a character out and making it to be a funny thing, you know.
Right.
So
To make people happy.
to make people happy. There's so much of misery in this world. Why should we be unhappy? We just try to be happy and make people happy. So that was also and also to help charity. So it was fantastic.
And over and all, like when we are talking about Kolu Ranawake, the one person with like so much of golden memories and so much of beautiful thoughts and so much of things that I have done for the country. He's telling that I have done so much of charities, not to earn money. Over and all, like a character with enjoyed and without sufferings.
I know about suffering. So after 60, the suffering starts. Aches and pains, this thing, everything starts. It's another
Physical suffering.
physical suffering starts after now. So now we have to lay back and hope that we be taken away in peace. That's all.
I supposed to ask this question, but I don't know whether you will answer it or not. Like now you are like living a single and I mean I can't say isolated. I can say a single life, right? So what do you think that if you are a married man, so what is the difference? What do you feel that? Do you think that this is the best choice for you?
No, I think having if whether you are married or have a partner, loneliness is loneliness. One has to learn how to live alone and like yourself. So, I have managed to learn that one.
Then you can treat it yourself well and you can make you happy, right?
Yeah, I can find my own happiness. Yeah, there are times to be a bit down, but you must learn to get up at once.
Yeah, when we are like doing talk shows with so much of people in Sri Lanka, the talented upcomers and the celebrities in Sri Lanka, like they all very really good. But comparing with you, like you have no hard times. I mean,
I have had hard times.
I
I
mean-
have had enough hard times. I had enough financial problems because within so many years I used to be gambling. Gambling, it's you get sucked out all of your money. So I've had those experiences, but I have had no hard feelings about it. What the money I lost or whatever happened, it doesn't matter to me. If I look at the good times I've had, I used to be in the casino with my friend Vanessa. We had a fantastic time together. So I think of all the better times, to think the down times, and luckily I have stopped all that now. Rather than I had to put my neck across the railway line.
it's like you are a positive monster now. I feel like that.
I mean, if you are not positive, there is no. Positive, because I'm positive, I have managed to go on, I guess, I think so. I don't think anything now I don't take anything seriously.
And hello, like if someone is watching now episode and they think that I also need a free life like Kolu. So what are the secret
There
tips?
is no secret. That you have to learn to be yourself. You are not living for somebody else. You have one life. You live for yourself. There is no point you're living for your mother, father, brother, sister, your neighbor. You are one person. If you want to go out and remove your clothes and run, do it. If you want to be gay, be gay. If you want to marry 10 times, marry 10 times. Do what you want. Be happy. Don't live for other people. Live for yourself. That is my advice to anyone.
Basically without harm to anyone.
No, it's not harming people. Those things we don't know. Those may come or may not come. But you live for yourself. Don't live for other people.
What is your aspect about the entertaining industry in Sri Lanka? Like comparing with other platforms?
They're great. I find our radio channels very good. I find our Sri Lankan entertainers of a very high standards. Our events have gone up to very high standards. So the standards are good there. There's a lot of talent here.
Then Kolu, thank you so much joining with us and I have been made some calls and made you come to I don't know.
No problem. I reply you once. That's all.
Yes. And thank you so much being here today.
My
And
pleasure.
what do you think about our talk show? Like we are an upcoming channel and now we are still
You
getting the
must-
first
well,
stages.
I know you're more comfortable doing it in single ears. But I am a bit uncomfortable in singing. I had done one talk show in singing.
This is my first talk show which I have
Never mind, I think so.
going through it.
So good. So you
Yeah.
can, it's always time to improve. That's all. You are a young man, you have time to improve. We have done. We can talk and talk and talk because I had done 1,000 talk shows. But it was a nice evening. Nice meeting you and good luck to you.
Thank you so much, Kolu, and see you once again in our future episodes. And we'll reunite, and we suppose like you will be joining us back.
Okay. Thank you.